Linda is asking a bit of a random question. There's nothing random about this, Linda. It's a good question. I know the job market is tough right now, but are you seeing any indicators for a shift in 2026? Okay, so let me answer this two ways. And this is a really good one. This is a really good way to think. And I know I've taught you all this before, but I also realize I have a lot of content and it's very hard to find messages like what I'm about to tell you. So I look at aspects of the world that I feel will never change. Okay. So when I look for what I want to do as a professional, I look at what will never change. Okay, so let me give an example of what I mean. I just wrote a communication book. Okay, I'll release the title as soon as it's up on Amazon. But communication will never go away. Okay, like we can get AI tools, we can get advanced technology, but as a human, you're going to need to talk. You're going to need, right, to communicate with others in a certain way, whether you're writing. And even if you're writing it and you're having another tool write it, you still need to know how to communicate effectively so that it sounds like you. You're eventually going to have to talk to somebody. So I want to write a book that will be ageless and timeless. I write a communication book. Okay. Now, when I look at what won't change, I think about yourself for a second. Okay. This is literally how I think and the evolution of how I would want you to think. I will sit in my little sunroom there, and I will think about what makes me happy. And I'm talking about like, is there ever a time in your life? This morning, I had to exchange some clothing, okay? Because like I don't go into a store, so I got to order it on the internet. And 4 of the pieces were a little too big. So I had to exchange the clothing. And never, not ever in my life or for the rest of my life, do I not want the next smaller size in my hand right now. Human behavior says, I want it right now. Is there ever going to be a moment where humans don't want something fast? Okay, they always will. If they go in a restaurant, is there ever a time when they're not going to want a delicious meal? No, always. It'll never change. Okay, I took one of my dogs to the vet a couple of years ago, 4 days before she died. On that morning, I had no idea she was sick. And then I raced her I wanted to race her to the vet. Because it was a holiday. I get on a computer screen, right? Pulled up their website. I'm looking and I'm like, I can't get an appointment. What should I'm not sure what to do. It's a holiday. I call them up. They say, yeah, you can come in and wait. The wait time will be long. Or you can go into this system, give me your name, your phone number, the pet's name, where you live, and a bunch of other stuff. And what we'll do is we will text you when to get in the car and when to come here. Okay, great. So we wait around. I work a bunch, right? It's holiday, but I'm still working. About 4 hours later, I get the text. Get Ginger in the car. Off we go. Bang, get right there. In we go, right? Busy hospital. Like I said to my wife, I got to figure out what software they're using because I want to invest in that software because people will always value their time. Okay, so why am I telling you this? Because number one, you want to focus in industries that focus on products like this. It will never change. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you look for the connections. What do I mean? The minute COVID hit, I sat in the chair and I thought about the industries that were going to crush it. But then I thought about my finances because I'm like, the market's going to melt down. So I'm going to need to take the money and I'm going to need to reallocate the money. And where am I going to put the money? Like, people can't leave the house. They need shipping. Amazon stock. Buy more. What does Amazon need? Amazon needs paper, cardboard, baggages, plastic. Buy all those companies. Stocks going up and up and up and up like that. So I look for who are the leaders in whatever and what do they need? Okay? And as long as you're doing that, you'll be able to see around the corner. right? Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a hospitality person and it's 2019, you don't know in the next year your life's going to change because nobody can leave their house. That's catastrophic. But right now, a lot of companies are doing really well. It's the hiring and the employment aspect of it that's confusing. So there are pockets of all of these things that are thriving. Look there. That's where I'm looking. So if you say, well, Andy, I'm a technologist and I've always worked in hospitality, but go to wherever. The finance stocks are like going through the roof right now. I own Goldman Sachs and all these other stocks that are, rising. Like, okay, what's working? If the stock is going up, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're hiring because their profit margins could be going up. But usually there's a relationship. So when I think in those terms. What is here to stay? It will never change. What is the connection points? We're all connected. Companies are connected. Individuals are connected. Skill sets are connected. And I'm always looking for what I think will work. And so everything that you do, I would focus it in on, ask yourself the question, how does this product make businesses better? Or how does this product make people happier? Right? Because some are business to business and others serve a consumer. And that's how I think about it, Linda. And so there are a lot of areas that are thriving right now. And then there's a lot that are, kind of meandering. Then you have weird things like this government shutdown and how that displaced a lot of people or how it's shutting units down. But I'm coaching people who've worked for USAID and some of these other, I don't know if she's here, we had a session a week or two ago, or other federal arms, and they have really valuable skills. And then it's understanding how those skills will align based on where you want to go. And I coached a woman, she gave me 2 or 3 aspects, interests of the kind of things she wanted. And I thought about it. I came up with a plan for her before we met. I identified the 5 areas of company types that I thought she should go to. I went into my AI tool and I said, okay, I've got this client. This is her background. These are where she wants to go. This is what I think. What do you think? And then it came back with, we think what you think, Andy. I was like, that makes sense. And then it gave me, the AI tool gave us all the 200 companies. I had it all laid out for her before we started based on and position type. Here's how your federal position translates to the commercial industry or philanthropic or think tanks or whatever, all the breakdowns that I had. And then she had a packet before we even started because the tool was able to help me do all that in seconds. But I guided it. But you have assets at your disposal now that make job searching a lot easier, the mechanics of it. But again, you're still going to need the communication skills. I'm not worried about if AI takes over resume writing. Why? Because that's the basketball. I need to teach you how to play offense and defense, right? The interviewing, the communication. I can just interview coach if I want. I could just do that. Or I can help you with your aspirations. But that's how I think. And so if any of you are at a crossroads, or if you're feeling stuck in your job search and you're not getting hits with the companies you think you should, perhaps augment your list based on what I just said. Can you step back? If you can't see it, step back further. It'll happen.